What's up, everybody? Happy Monday. Hope all you're having a great day so far. Hope you had a great weekend. Getting into this episode of GH. I'm happy that Julian's talking about buying a house. I am. Because it's about damn time that he stopped living from behind that bar. You know what I mean? Like, it's time he get him a real place. And the reason I say that is for a number of reasons, but the main reason is because he's seeing more of his son Leo. So, you know, Olivia is letting him have more access to Leo, and, you know, Leo's probably going to start sleeping over and stuff like that. So it's best to just get you a home, even if it is the ODOD house. But I agree with Lucy. I mean, you know, with a little TLC, he could fix that house up, you know, remodel it, put in some new paint, obviously some new furniture. You know, he can make it look different because Michael, you know, he was going to turn it into, I think, a battered woman's or something of another type house. But it's not, you know, permitted. You know, that house is not really zoned for that kind of thing. So he had to move it. So, of course, now he has to sell that house. You know, I don't blame Julian, though. You know, it's about time he put some roots down, get a home set. It's about time. And I am glad that, you know, he took it upon himself to, you know, invite Lucas to come house hunting with him. And I think it's cool, you know, that he wanted Lucas's opinion on the house, you know, what kind of house he should buy and if he should buy that house. And I thought it was cool, you know, them bonding and stuff. See, that's why I hate, even though Julian doesn't know the whole truth about Wiley, I hate that he's holding this secret in from Lucas. Because for the last few months, him and Lucas have been, you know, building his trust back and, you know, trying to bond and, you know, fix their relationship. And this secret might torpedo all the progress that they made the last few months. And I would hate for that to happen. You know, I really would. That's why I was pissed when Julian got involved in this from day one. Because I just wish that he would have just backed off, let Brad figure this out for himself, and not had kept that secret. Because this definitely will damage all the, you know, the work that him and Lucas have done the last few months to repair their father-son relationship. So, you know, I hate that part. So I think it's cool that he's buying that house, though. I like it. I feel bad because, you know, he had all these dreams and hopes and stuff of buying that house, not only just for Leo, but for him and Kim. You know, and then he was talking about in the future, maybe him and Kim could have a child. And unbeknownst to him, Kim's planning on leaving town. You know, so all of that is kind of for naught. Even with Kim leaving town, I hope Julian still goes ahead and buy that house. I hope he does. I hope so. You know, it sucks, though, because you could tell, like, he really liked Kim. Like, he really loves her. He put in a lot of effort and work into that relationship, you know, and it's just, you know, done at this point. Honestly, though, I can't blame Kim for wanting to leave. I did love her scenes with Carly, though. It was fun seeing the two Carlys together. You know, she was basically telling Carly, you know, that she's dealt with patients who, you know, she helped deliver babies who had spina bifida and stuff, you know, the same condition that Carly's child has. So if Carly had any questions and stuff like that, she can call or text her day or night, you know, don't matter the time. I thought that was nice, you know. But I totally understand where Kim's coming from, and I understand why she wants to leave. You know, she does, you know, she has built up a nice support system in Port Charles, you know, with Drew, the Quartermains, Carly, Sonny, Jocelyn. You know, she's built up a nice support system, but I agree with her, though. She needs a fresh start. Because being in Port Charles now, everything reminds her of Oscar. You know, her apartment, the park, Oscar's meadow. Even if she goes to the Quartermain house, like, a lot of that stuff has so much sentimental, you know, value to Oscar. You know what I mean? So she needs a fresh start, and I can't say that I blame her. You know, even when she see Drew all the time. And every time she comes around people, you know, they got this look on their face, like they're always apologizing. Oh, how are you doing? Sorry for your loss. You know, she just needs time away from all that. And I don't blame her. You know, I'm glad that, you know, Drew was cool with it when she told him that she was leaving town, because Drew totally understood. And basically told her to keep in touch and stuff like that. But Julian, I don't think, is going to be that understanding of it. And quite frankly, I honestly, I couldn't blame Julian, because he thought that him and Kim were in this thing for the long haul, and it doesn't seem like that's the case anymore. You know, so it sucks. I guess Kim really was a good person. I mean, I always felt she was a good person, but it was something in the back of my mind that always told me that she was kind of hiding something. I could never put my finger on what. Honestly, I loved the scene with Alexis and Neil. I loved it. I loved that scene. I totally understood where Neil was coming from and why he didn't want to treat Alexis anymore, because I agreed with him. You know, I totally get where Neil was coming from. You know what I mean? Because now that he's opened up to her and basically told his personal business, it's a conflict now. You know what I mean? I love the fact that Neil is ultra professional. You know what I'm saying? Because on daytime TV, you got so many people in these professions who are so unethical and have huge conflicts of interest, and they don't care. But I love that he's professional about it. You know, he takes his career very seriously, and I respect that. It sucks that Alexis is gonna have to kind of start all over with a brand new doctor, but I'm glad that she let her feelings out, and she finally broke that wall down. Because remember, Diane kept telling her for the longest that she need to go and try to get with Neil, and we've all been seeing that Alexis is obviously interested in Neil romantically. She just kept lying to herself. She kept lying to herself, lying to Diane about her feelings. And I'm glad that she basically told Neil, like, he's the right guy. And that was her subliminally basically saying he's the right guy for her. And, I hope they do end up together. I hope they do, because I think they would make a good looking couple. Not just physically, but everything else. I just think that they would make a good couple on paper, physically. Like, they just look good together. You know, the chemistry is definitely there. But you know what sucks about being with a therapist? Because it makes me feel like every little thing that you do in the relationship, they kind of try to psychoanalyze it. Like, it would suck to be with a therapist. Like, it would suck because they try to psychoanalyze every little thing you say and do. That's one of the cons of being with a therapist. You know what I'm saying? Like, any little thing, like if you use soy milk instead of low fat milk or something, you know what I mean? They'd be like, oh, you got this type of issue. Like, you know, like they try to psychoanalyze something. That's only downfall, but I do like them together. I think they make a really, really great couple. And it's about time Alexis got with somebody who's not a criminal. You know what I'm saying? Who's not an organized crime. Who's not an international terrorist. Jerry Jacks. It's about time. You know, she needed somebody who could check her, but be on the up and up at the same time. And Neil definitely does check her. And I like that. He balances her crazy out. Because we all know Alexis is crazy when it comes to men. She's wishy-washy. She's, you know, all the above. She's neurotic. And Neil checks her. And that's who she needs. That's exactly the type of person she needs. Ain't nothing wrong with being checked every now and then. God knows Alexis needs it bad. But I do enjoy them. I did, though. I like the scene with Finn, Epiphany, and Drew. When Finn was investigating Dr. Cabot and stuff, trying to get to the bottom of things, like, he was trying to figure out what Dr. Cabot was up to. And I'm glad he told Drew about his suspicions and stuff like that. Listen, when Finn was investigating Dr. Cabot today, it reminded me so much of John McBain. I said, uh-oh, here go McBain. See, that McBain kicked in today. It's fun seeing, you know, Finn be more active and doing different things, you know what I mean? Being a doctor, and also he can investigate. I like it. Hopefully he could get to the bottom of this whole nonsense with Shiloh and all them. He might play a key factor in this. You know, we never know. Speaking of Shiloh, That man must love an ass whooping. I'm going to tell you that right now. It's not an episode without him getting beat down by somebody. And it was so funny how he called Jason and told Jason, come to my motel room without backup and without a gun. It made me laugh when he said that. And the reason being is because anytime Jason has seen Shiloh, when has Jason ever had backup or a gun to whoop his ass? He's never had a gun or a backup to beat you down. He always uses his bare hands. Even Michael himself didn't have a gun or backup to whoop your ass. Like, Shiloh just need to stop, because clearly you're buff for no reason. You can't fight. I'm like, why do you be letting these other grown men manhandle you like that? I'm like, swing, boy. Put your hands up. Block, duck, bob, weave. Do something. You better stop letting these men just rough you up like that. I'm like, because if you do go to prison, you ain't gonna last 2 seconds. You know how them big burly men be up in prison? Please. This is a cakewalk compared to what they do to you in Pentonville. I'm just saying, you would be somebody prison hoe in a minute. Clipping their toenails and ironing their drawers. You better learn how to buck up and man up. Stop letting these men manhandle you like that. I'm just saying, it's a piece of advice, you know, words to live by. Jason was just beating that boy down, just hurting him. And of course, this fool done stuffed or had somebody stuffed Sam in a freaking deep freezer outside the DOD house. Because remember when Julian and Lucas went to the house with Lucy, they had all that trash and stuff in front of the house from the DOD, from when DOD was there, all their furniture. One of that was the deep freezer. So he had Sam stuffed up in there, all duct taped up and stuff like that. And after Julian and Lucas and Lucy left, you know, she finally managed to get the duct tape off her mouth and start screaming, but it was too late. They already left. Hopefully somebody could save her in time before the trash people come. Jason, he better do something, because they know that whole memory mapping thing ain't gonna work on Jason any damn way because of his brain damage. So even if you try to, you know, use that, it's not gonna work. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's pointless. As entertaining as Shiloh is, his plots be so stupid. But I give him credit, though, because he always have an ace up his sleeve. Like, you know what I mean? He always knows how to rise from the ashes, so to speak. Even though he has to take an ass whooping every time he tries. But, I mean, I guess that's the price you have to pay. It's a very steep price, but a price nonetheless. So anyway, moving on from that. Poor Brad. Delusional Brad. I cannot wait until the day Lucas finds out what happened and divorces sorry ass. I can't wait. So now we got confirmation that Brad was the one that pushed Obrecht. I kind of figured as much, because I'm like, why would Valentine do it? It's not his style, and it wouldn't make sense. I was pissed when Obrecht decided to make a deal with Brad, all because he threatened Britt. Because he threatened to have Britt arrested for aiding and abetting or whatever. Because he claimed that Britt knew about the whole baby switch and stuff. Even if Britt knew, so what? That's not going to hold up in court. He has no proof that she knew. It's his word against hers. You have no physical proof that she knew about it. She could deny that she knew. My thing is, Obrecht has no reason to keep this secret. Her keeping Valentine's secret about Sasha, I could totally understand her keeping that secret because it benefits her. Because Valentine has money and influence. He can help her with whatever she want or need. Career-wise, money-wise, he can help her. Whereas Brad and Nell don't have jack shit to offer. Brad has no money. He has no influence. Nell's in Pentonville. They have absolutely nothing to offer Obrecht. Why keep the secret? It makes absolutely no sense to keep that secret. You know what I mean? Like, Brad sitting there thinking that he's smart trying to buck up on Obrecht. First of all, Brad, one of your biggest mistakes was, and this is what he obviously should learn sooner rather than later, is that if you try to kill somebody as devious and deadly as Obrecht, you might want to make sure that they're dead. Because the last thing you want is for somebody like Obrecht to survive. That's the worst thing you could want. Because then all hell can break loose. And the shit really will hit the fan. Like, that's what you don't want. But on the other hand, I'm actually happy that Carly witnessed their little handshake and their little deal. And the reason I say that is because we all know how Carly is. When she sees something suspicious, Carly never lets it go. So we all know now that Carly's seen the two of them together, shaking hands, making a little deal. Oh, she's going to investigate. Because we know how Carly is. She doesn't let nothing go. When she sees something, she's like a dog with a bone. She don't let it go until she get results. So I'm happy that Carly is the one that saw it. Because, trust, Carly ain't I don't see her letting this go. Even being pregnant and dealing with all she dealing with, she not letting that go. Because she knows something was suspicious about that. She not going to let it go. She going to investigate that. She going to ask as many questions as she want. Try to figure it out. And I don't blame her. Brad sounds so stupid and delusional. Talking about, oh, Sonny's a mob boss. That means that if Wiley turns out to be his grandson, he's going to claim him and he's going to be a target for Sonny's enemies. Brad, you better pray that that secret don't come out, because you will become one of his enemies. And that's something that you don't want. Because he could send Jason to kill you in 2 seconds. Or he can do it himself. You don't want those types of problems. You got more than enough problems on your hand. You don't need more. But of course he will. Little idiot. So anyway, this was a decent episode today. Hit the comment section. Let me know what y'all thought about today's episode. I will see y'all all later. Peace.